Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today we're going to talk about one of the best starting weapons you can unlock in Star Wars Battlefront. And I've unlocked all the guns in the game at this point. I've had plenty of time to play around with all of them, and I still use this gun a lot in most of the game modes that I play. It's the DLT-19. You can unlock this Heavy Blaster at rank 3 for only 550 credits, so it's easily accessible to everyone in the game. It has a high rate of fire at 600 rounds per minute, tying with the RT-97C for the fastest full auto rate of fire weapon in the game, not counting burst fire weapons of course, which do fire faster but only in bursts. It only does 15 damage per shot, so you're going to have to land quite a few shots, but since it fires so quickly you can absolutely do that, and of course headshots are going to lower the time required to kill your opponent. Now because it has such a high rate of fire and many of the weapons in Star Wars Battlefront shoot kind of slowly, you have a higher chance of getting the final blow, which means more points for you in the long run, so it's a great weapon to rank up with as well. Now in this clip here I've actually got all the guns unlocked, but I'm still using the DLT-19 because it pairs incredibly well with explosive shot. Anything with a high rate of fire does really well with explosive shot, since it makes every single shot coming out of your weapon do AoE damage. So a high rate of fire means it's going to do massive damage. So it still holds up really well endgame, and even with that explosive shot I really like it. Now the main competitor to this Heavy Blaster is the RT-97C. You can unlock this at level 5 for 1,250 credits, and it's a good blaster rifle, and in fact it actually does more damage than the DLT-19, especially in close quarters. However, the DLT-19's main benefit is that its blaster fire does not increase in spread over time anywhere near as much as some of the other weapons in the game. So basically you can just hold down the fire button and you're going to maintain relatively good accuracy even at medium and longer ranges with this gun. So it's not a steep learning curve to using this weapon, where the RT-97C you're going to have to mostly tap fire at ranges. It does do slightly more damage than the DLT-19, but ultimately I think the versatility of the DLT-19 and the ease of use makes it a more competitive weapon at just about any range. Now, of course, it's not the best gun in the game, and there isn't really a best gun in Star Wars Battlefront. They're all very good at different features. The DLT-19's weakest point is probably close quarters. It's not to say that it's bad at close quarters. There's just a lot of weapons that can do massive damage at extreme close quarter fighting, and the DLT-19 is going to take a little while to kill your opponent. But as you can see from most of my footage here, I'm having no problem killing people in close quarters. It's not that the DLT-19 is a bad gun in close quarters, it's just if you're up against a worthy opponent and they have a weapon that's specifically designed for CQB combat, you can be at a disadvantage. But here's the thing about the weapons that can outdamage the DLT-19. They're high skill based weapons, and if you miss your first few shots with them, you're usually going to be at a disadvantage, where the DLT-19's high rate of fire gives you a degree of inaccuracy where you can miss a couple shots and still win the firefight. You don't have to land every single shot. And if you start to mix some headshots in there, you can decrease your time to kill significantly. Where if you're using something like, say, the DL-44, which is Han's pistol, that blaster pistol, it does 50 damage per shot, which is amazing. Which means if somebody headshots you with it, they can shoot you in one shot, kill you in one shot. But if they miss that headshot, or if they miss their first couple shots with the DL-44, because it's a very slow rate of fire, you can easily win that firefight with the DLT-19. They just have a chance to end you instantly, where the DLT-19 consistently will end somebody pretty quickly. Now what I've noticed a lot from playing Star Wars Battlefront is that map design, game mode can really dictate what kind of weapons are going to work the best. Sometimes sniper rifles are awesome, but other maps they're just completely worthless, and it really depends on the layout, the flow of battle, what you're expecting in combat. The DLT-19 I find is going to be good in pretty much any game mode you choose. Like if you don't know what to go with, pick the DLT-19 and you'll be doing pretty well. And if you decide that you want to modify your loadout to be a little bit more CQB, then you can go with a shotgun. If you want more long range, then you can pick like the T-21 semi-auto rifle, you know, so you can adapt. But if you really don't know what to pick or what to use, the DLT-19 is always going to be a safe choice. And that's one of the things that I value most in my favorite guns in any shooter is adaptability, versatility. I don't want a weapon that's going to be really good for one situation but awful at another situation, and that's why I love the DLT-19 so much. Now again, I've unlocked every gun in the game and played with them extensively, and I constantly find myself coming back to the DLT-19, especially when I don't know what to do, or if I'm having a rough game or something like that and I just need something consistent that I know I can perform well with. I'll just switch back to the DLT-19. And I'll be doing a video also on some of the other star cards that work really well with this. Explosive Shot, as I mentioned earlier, is a great option. It's one of my favorite star cards in the game, and any high rate of fire weapon is going to benefit extremely well from Explosive Shot. So DLT-19 Explosive Shot can be, in my opinion, one of the best combos in the game. And you'll notice a few clips here where I activate it and just decimate people. Now, despite my praise for this weapon, I do encourage you all to try every single blaster in the game. They all have their purpose, they all have their place, and knowing how they perform and being somewhat experienced with them is going to give you an advantage for being able to switch up guns mid-combat and decide that, hey, I want to adapt to a slightly different playstyle. Because yes, the DLT-19 is great, it's going to be a highly versatile weapon, but if you're just getting stuck at long-range combat exclusively, you might want to go with something better suited for that. Or if it's just a crazy CQB map and people are killing you really fast with shotguns and DL-44s, you may want to consider adapting to that playstyle as well. So it always pays to try out the other weapons in the game. So I hope this video helps you guys figure out what kind of weapons you might want to use early game, and just because the DLT-19 is an early game gun doesn't mean it can't be an extremely effective late game gun. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap signing off.